Good day, this is Sir Jaymar once again, and for today's lesson, I am going to discuss to you about linear permutations. In the previous lesson, we discussed about permutation formula. We tackled that the permutation of n objects taken r at a time is permutation of n taken r at a time equals n factorial over the quantity of n minus r factorial. So let's have a few problems solving as our application of the linear permutations. Example number 1. In the class of Miss Lopez, suppose there will be an election. In how many ways can a president, a treasurer, and secretary be chosen from among 7 candidates? So here's our solution for example number 1. Okay, so n, which is 7. 7 here represents the number of items you choose from. So that is our n, equals 7. And the 3 positions here represents the number of items taken at a time. So which is our r. So the value of r is 3. Then let's use now the permutation formula. So P, permutation of 7 taken 3 at a time. So instead of using the formula step by step, permutation of 7 taken 3 at a time can be considered also as taking 3 consecutive numbers starting with 7 or multiplying 3 consecutive numbers starting with 7. So 7 times 6 times 5. And that is equal to 210. Okay, so that is 210. So permutation of 7 taken 3 at a time is equal to 210. So 210 ways can this 3 position be chosen from among 7 candidates. Okay? So I hope na-gets ninyo ang ating example number 1. Now let's proceed to example number 2. Example 2. The difference between US and the Philippine zip code is that the US zip code comprises 5 digits. Assume we use the 5 digits zip code of a place in the US. How many different zip codes can be made with the digits 0 to 9 if no digit is used more than once and the first is not 0? Okay, so here's our solution for example number 2. Okay, so first, yung ating n dito is 9. Okay? Yung n natin ay 9. And yung ating r dito is 4. Bakit 4? Okay, mamaya, tingnan ninyo ha. Yung r natin ay 4. Okay, bakit? Because yung ating pinakaunang digit dito ay 9 from 1 to 9 only. From 1 to 9. So we have 9 numbers na pagpipilian lamang. From 1 to 9. Hindi kasama yung 0. Kasi kung 0 yung mauunang number doon sa ating 5 digits number sa ating zip code, magiging 4 na lang yon. Magiging 4 digits na lang yon. Kung 0 yung mauuna. Kaya hindi kasama yung 0 dito sa pinakaunang digit natin. Okay, so from 1 to 9 only. So we have 9 times the permutation of 9 taken 4 at a time. Okay, so ito yung ating solution dito sa example number 2. Then, okay, let's solve this one. So 9 times itong permutation of 9 taken 4 at a time can be considered as taking 4 consecutive numbers starting with 9 or multiplying 4 consecutive numbers starting with 9. So 9 times 9 times 8, times 7, times 6. Okay, bakit tayo nag-umpisa dito ng 9 sa ating first digit? Kasi hindi kasama yung 0. Di ba 10 numbers lahat to from 0 to 9? Pero hindi kasama ang 0. From 1 to 9 lang tayo. Kasi kapag 0 yung mauuna, magiging 4 na digits na lang yan. Hindi na yan magiging 5 digits. Okay, ngayon naman, dito sa ating pangalawang digit, kasama na yung 0. Pwede na ang 0 dito sa ating pangalawang digit. Okay? So, dapat 10 na ito. Pero since nakapili na tayo ng isang number dito sa ating first digit, so 9 numbers na lang ang ating pagpipilian dito sa ating pangalawang digit, sa ating zip code. Okay? And then sa pangatlo, 8 na lang. Then sa pang-apat, 7 na lang. At sa huling digit natin, sa ating 5 digits zip code, ay 6 na lang yung ating pagpipilian. Now, let's multiply this one to determine the number of different zip codes can be made with the digits 0 to 9. If no digit is used more than once and the first is not 0. Okay, so let's multiply. 9 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 is equal to 27,216. Okay? So, ayan. The number 27,216 is the total number of different zip codes that can be made with the digits 0 to 9 if no digit is used more than once and the first is not 0. So, 27,216. Okay, number 3. Let's proceed to example number 3. I hope na-gets ninyo ito, yung ating example number 2. Example 3. How many 4-letter words can be formed from the letters in these words? Letter A, life, and letter B, journal. Okay, solution. For example number 3. Okay, so for letter A, so how many words do we have in life? So, 4. Then, how many 4-letter words can be formed from the letters in this word na life? Okay, so that is permutation of 4 taken 4 at a time. Okay, kasi 4 lang din naman yung letters sa word na life. So that is equal to 4 factorial. Tama? Or, this form can be considered also as taking 4 consecutive numbers or multiplying 4 consecutive numbers starting with 4. So that is 4 factorial equals 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And that is equal to 24. So we have 24 4-letter words na na-form natin dito sa letter A. Gamit yung mga letters sa word ng letter A. Okay, what about in letter B? Okay, so sa letter B, how many letters do we have in the word journal? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 7 letters lahat meron sa word na journal. So, ang tanong dito is how many 4-letter words lang that can be formed in the letter and the letters in this word sa letter B. Okay, so that is permutation of 7 taken 4 at a time. Okay? So, yung ating N dito is itong 7, the letters in the word journal, and 4 is how many yung 4-letter words that can be formed. So, that is our R, yung 4. So, this one can be considered as taking 4 consecutive numbers starting with 7. Okay? So, 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 lang. Okay, so taking 4 consecutive numbers or multiplying 4 consecutive numbers is starting with 7. So 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 is equal to 840. Okay, so for letter B, we have 840 4-letter words that can be formed from the letters in the word journal. Okay, so I hope na-gets ninyo ang ating mga examples.